Let's get more on this and speak to Pieter Cleppe, who joins me live from Brussels. He's the head of the think tank Open Europe. Many thanks for joining us, Pieter. Anakonda, it's big, isn't it? 31,000 soldiers from 24 countries taking part in these military exercises. Give us a bit more detail on exactly what they will be doing. Essentially, they're responding to fictional exercises. Is that right?
Yes, correct. There will be parachute simulations, all kinds of military things. But the most important thing is to send a signal to Russia that if it ever would have the idea to intervene into a NATO member state the same way it did in Ukraine, that this is probably not a good idea. And in this sense, I think we have to make a distinction in the non-intervention debate. It's all fair to say that NATO should be reluctant to stand by Ukraine, given that it is not a member, given that making Ukraine a member doesn't enjoy democratic legitimacy in NATO countries. It's a whole different thing to say that NATO will protect its members. So in that sense, I think this is a good idea.
And is there any significance to the fact that this exercise is taking place in Poland?
Poland is a NATO member state, and there have been rumors of Russia planning to potentially intervening in one way or another in the Baltics, so to boost President Putin's popularity at home in the run-up to elections this fall. That may be true, that may not be true, but at the end of the day, look, holding military exercises in one of your member states of NATO can never be seen as an offensive act. I think in any case it's much better than to impose sanctions on private businesses, which basically has hurt people both in Russia and in the West. I think eventually we need to try to get Russia back into the international system, but this should never be at the expense of weak defense.
So how threatened do you think Russia is by Anakonda? Do you think they will retaliate in some way?
Well, they're holding military exercises themselves, and that's perfectly fine. And they're entitled to do that on their territory. No one should blame Russia for doing that. But at the end of the day, it's just making clear, just in the same way that Scandinavian countries did back in the Cold War, that borders are there to be respected.
Okay, Pieter, really good to speak to you. Pieter Cleppe there from Open Europe, speaking to us live from Brussels. Many thanks.